Welcome, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar, How to Optimize, Control, and Accelerate Market Data for the Cloud. We will be starting in just a few moments. But first, I would like to cover a couple of housekeeping items for everyone. During the presentation, we will be asking 3 polling questions of the audience. The questions form an interactive discussion and will appear on your screen for you to respond. Simply click on your selection and press Submit. If you have questions for us along the way, please open your chat window and enter them there, and we will address your questions in the Q&A portion at the end of this webinar. Be sure to set your chat to all panelists and attendees so we can see your questions. Should we run short of time at the end of the presentation, and we don't get to your questions, we'll be sure to follow up with you. For today's agenda, we will discuss the market imperatives and challenges for market data in the cloud, followed by a solution demonstration from our experts. And then, of course, as mentioned, we will close the webinar with a Q&A session. And of note, we will share a special offer for each of you to thank you for joining us today on today's webinar. Well, hello and welcome. I am Andrea Scove, CMO of Push Technology, one of the 3 technology companies who have collaborated to bring you this webinar and present a comprehensive solution for secure, real-time market data in the cloud. BCC Group is focused on moving workloads to the cloud and is partnered with all the major cloud providers to tell this story. With nearly 20 years of consulting experience in the market data space, the team at BCC invented the only truly neutral cloud-native offering in the market data space, the One Solution. With us today is Bill Beards, President and CBDO of BCC Group International. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you, Andrea. Happy to be here.
Bill is an expert on market data in the cloud, and he will be briefing us on market trends. Push Technology is a pioneer and technology leader in real-time data solutions that power mission-critical applications and systems for companies worldwide. Push's Diffusion Intelligent Data Mesh provides secure, reliable, and highly scalable real-time data aggregation, transformation, and distribution. With us today are Brian Fitzpatrick, VP of Financial Sales, EMEA. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Andrea. Great to be here.
And Dave Carson, Senior Field Architect for Push Technology, who is an expert in real-time data integration and management in the financial services arena. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Andrea. Good to be here.
We invited Baker Technology to prove and demonstrate how simple it is to connect and leverage the data with out-of-the-box technology from BCC Group and Push Technology. Baker designs and builds transformative real-time systems for the financial markets. The company specializes in building multi-product trading platform user interfaces for every part of the trade life cycle, from client onboarding through pre-trade, price discovery, trade execution, right up to post-trade and real-time reporting. Dave Bull, Director of Baker Technology, has joined us for today's webinar. Welcome, Dave.
Hi, Andrea. Great to be here.
Bill Beards is now going to kick off today's webinar with an overview of our discussion and demonstration.
Thanks, Andrea. So when we talk to customers around the world, they talk about their next 5 years and where they want to be with their market data environment. They're telling us they want to move their market data to the cloud quickly and easily. They want to foster competition and enable fluidity between the data sources. They want the data to be secure. They want it in real time. They want it fully permissioned, and they want it in the cloud. They also want to allow dynamic scaling so that they can address market volatility while managing costs. But most importantly, they want to isolate their data better, and they want to monetize their data, and they want to specifically monetize their original derived content. Let's talk about the key elements of the journey to the cloud. Over the next few slides, we will establish and validate where we are all seeing, what we are all seeing and hearing in the market when it comes to cloud and the trends regarding market data in the cloud. The polling questions will clarify where you are in your cloud journey, why and when you are moving to the cloud, and what are your chief concerns or challenges. We will talk about market trends we are hearing from our clients and hearing from sources such as Greenwich Associates. It might not surprise you to hear that costs and new revenue sources were primary focus areas, but this is not enough. We need to dig deeper. The journey to the cloud is well underway in financial services, but challenges do exist. We'll talk about what these concerns are and what the trio of providers you're going to hear from today are doing to accelerate this journey. We recognize that not every client is the same, but we are confident that regardless of where you begin your journey, this solution what we are presenting today will provide you the guidance you need. Now let's take our first polling question on the status of your journey.
As you can see, you have the polling question displayed on your screen. If each of you in our audience would select the option that best matches your situation and click submit, that would be great. Now more than ever, companies have realized that they need to move to the cloud. So we're asking each of you where you are in your journeys. While we wait for the audience to select their answers, where do you think the market predominantly lies at the moment, Bill?
You know, Andrea, across most industries, the cloud has become the norm. Whether you're talking about manufacturing, governments, retailers, healthcare, whatever, it is the norm. Financial services has been cautious, and we've seen that. But whether it's COVID-19 or just a natural evolution of things, we see that changing. Clients are no longer selecting low impact applications, but they're actually looking at critical workloads that they want to move quickly and easily to the cloud. Brian, what are you seeing?
Bill, some of the examples we're seeing from our customers are in the quickly and easily category, i.e. about how we can reduce the time to onboard both new customers and new content, plus also the whole area of monetizing a mix of content and calculations, analytics. So back to you, Bill.
We've got some interesting results here from our audience displayed on everyone's screen. 35% split between underway and still under investigation. So we are speaking at a timely moment to this audience. Let's see how our audience responses compare with the broader market.
So in comparison with the answers we just received, things are consistent. If you look at Greenwich Associates' point of view, the movement to the cloud is on the way. The commitment to cloud is in place for 93% of the respondents that are out there, and their market data infrastructure and they're looking at the public cloud. Now let's take a look at the motivators for the cloud.
As Bill said, our second polling question asks you, our audience, to please select your motivators for moving to the cloud. And note, please, that multiple selections are allowed. So, Bill, what are you seeing, again, when you're speaking to prospects and customers?
No, Andrea, I'm frankly not going to be surprised with these answers, I expect. Whether you're talking to IT executives or business leaders, cost reduction and revenue generation are tantamount. Our discussions with clients and the articles we've read support these assumptions. With a multi-billion-dollar space we're talking about here, a 10% growth year on year is just way too expensive. Financial institutions are reaching a breaking point and they believe this change needs to occur. We believe the cloud is that catalyst. And while costs will go down, the opportunity to expand and develop fresh revenue opportunities is the future.
Interesting. Well, I think then you're not being surprised is the word of the day. Reducing infrastructure costs leads the way, and then it's followed by the data costs. Also, monetizing, as you mentioned earlier, new revenue streams is key for moving to the cloud. So let's look at the trends across the market for this particular answer, Bill.
So as the poll responses supported, the primary drivers for cloud are new revenue opportunities and cost savings. Let's take a look at cost savings first. There are two elements to cost savings, the cost of infrastructure and the cost of the data. On the infrastructure front, the ability to simplify your environment dramatically changes the game. When you think about how complex your current world is today, with primary, backup, and disaster recovery, leased lines, edge devices, administrators, data vendors, and facilities, the costs are astronomical. The cloud simplifies and clarifies the architecture dramatically by replacing much of your on-premises technology with regions strategically placed in the cloud to maximize performance. Now let's talk about the cost of data and what you pay for the data. Because of the complexity of being on-premises and an on-premises focused world, the cost and effort to consider multiple data vendors is much too painful to take on. A change now would take years and cost millions, but with the cloud, fluidity is now a reality. I am most excited, however, about monetization. The story is once again about flexibility. The flexibility and the power of cloud is unmatched in its ability to generate analytics and algorithmic models, to leverage machine learning, and to keep up with regulatory requirements. The cloud allows you to serve your internally derived data to clients easily. All this data will be fully permissioned in the cloud with the one platform with our multi-vendor entitlement control service. Andrea, now let's take our final polling question and hear about their concerns.
Excellent. We understand that many of the people on our call, 70% in fact, have either embarked or are investigating embarking on their journey in the cloud. But what we'd like to know is, in that journey, what issues are keeping each of you up at night? And again, this is multiple choice, so you can put more than one answer down. Bill, what do you think is keeping people up at night?
Now, as our discussions with clients and consultants and experts support, the cost of cloud is not well understood, and the industry needs to do a better job of clarifying and reducing the anxiety of the unknown. As I said earlier, 10% year-over-year growth in a multi-billion-dollar industry is painful, and with each contract renewal, something must change. Either we make more money with our data, or cover the cost of the data, or make the data less expensive. The cloud enables both.
Well, we have interesting results from our audience. 50% of them are worried about data latency, so we're going to have to address that when we discuss what's going on with our demo. I want to remind all the participants, if you have any questions that we're not asking you that you would like answered, please put them in the chat window and we'll handle them at the end of the webinar. So let's take a look at the market research data regarding the concerns that are keeping corporate teams up at night worrying about moving to the cloud, and see how this data aligns with our audience responses.
So Andrea, security concerns are a factor for sure. We see some of this in the outage bar on the graph, but it's also sprinkled throughout all the items in the chart. The cloud providers and the trio of companies partnered here are laser focused in addressing this concern. Greenwich Associates' point of view is saying that 66% of the companies surveyed feel the cloud is critical to their success. And as you can see, issues around cost are far and away their most pressing concern. Their next level of concern are closely distributed amongst three categories: speed and latency of operation, the complexity of transition, and potential outages. No matter what research we cite, and no matter how many companies we speak with, these are the issues that need to be addressed as we move forward. BCC Group, Push Technology, and with the support of Baker Technology, have developed a solution to give customers peace of mind when moving to the cloud. Let's dive deeper into the solution's components. Let's begin at the left with the typical market data sources. These are consolidators such as Bloomberg or ICE, broker-dealers, and direct exchanges. The one platform can permission and deliver internally derived data, whether the analytics or algorithmic modeling, all generated by clients from their terms, where maximizing monetization is the goal. And finally, contribution in areas such as OTC market. All these sources are brought together by the one platform in the cloud. As the bullets summarize, all this data is served up in the cloud, thus reducing complexity and the cost of transition and enabling infrastructure and cost savings. Moving along the flow, here is the one platform in its most simple form. The market data flow starts at the feed handlers, and at this point, the data is technically normalized and placed in the last value cache. From here, it is sent to MEX, our multi-vendor entitlement control service, where permissioning and entitlement is done. MEX ensures that all data flowing anywhere in the platform is controlled, tracked, and reported. Finally, our robust middleware messaging technology is wrapped with a single one API. You are now able to receive your data via a single API from the cloud. You can now fully leverage all your sources more fully and independently. This is the reality of the One Platform today, fully Dockered and delivered in the cloud. And as the bullets summarize, the One Platform is fully managed and permissioned in the cloud. It is assembled with redundant components to maximize reliability, and it is designed to be elastic and to minimize latency. And it addresses regulatory and compliance concerns. A key component of the data delivery downstream applications is delivering to users at scale. This is provided by push technology. Over to Dave Carson.
Thank you, Bill, and hello to everybody in our audience. My name is Dave Carson, and I look after the services team at Push Technology. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about our core offering. Push's Diffusion and Intelligent Data Mesh is a high-performance edge messaging platform that addresses the challenges of the internet. In this solution configuration, the one API from BCC Group is delivering source market data into Diffusion. Diffusion can then transform, enrich, and distribute the exact data required to each client across the globe. I will now dig a little bit deeper into how this solution can help you. Diffusion optimizes data distribution using a patented technology based on compressed deltas. This allows, in some cases, an over 90% reduction in bandwidth utilization, which in turn delivers performance comparable to on-premise servers, but from the cloud and with substantially reduced data delivery costs. Secondly, Diffusion provides the ability to control how data is transformed and enriched in real time. This includes mapping of data, filtering and augmentation, in addition to real-time, delayed, and conflated delivery, or any mixture of these. Equally importantly, Diffusion also has a sophisticated permissioning model that enables granular data access control. For example, access to entire markets or specific products can be switched on and removed on demand in real time. Lastly, Diffusion provides acceleration in two contexts. The first is that Diffusion assures delivery of data around the globe on a massive scale, round trip time taking just milliseconds. Secondly, Diffusion is easily deployed in minutes, which speeds up your operational setup. Dave Bull from Baker Technology has built a simple demonstrator user interface which subscribes to data in Diffusion. Dave will now run through a demo of the platform. Over to you, Dave Bull.
Thanks, Dave. I'm just going to share my screen, so if you could let me know when you can see it.
We can see it, Dave.
Thank you. So thanks, Dave, and thanks to Push and BCC for inviting us to participate in this webinar. So I'm Dave Bull. I'm a director here at Baker Technology. We were able to build this simple POC in just a few days to show you the ease of integration with the One Platform. Today, we're going to give you a live demo running a live GUI running against the One Platform, which is running in the Google Cloud. All the data will be flowing out of the cloud, permissioned by MEX, and distributed to us via Push Technologies Diffusion. So for this demonstration, we're running two source handlers in the One Platform. We've chosen to use the ICE and Bloomberg handlers. These are connected to ICE and Bloomberg test systems and subscribe to FX prices. As Bill mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, MEX provides the permissioning for the One Platform. We'll show you how this works shortly. The market data is then pushed into Push Technologies Diffusion. I'll show you the Diffusion admin GUI to show you some of the features of Diffusion. And then hooked up to Diffusion, we've built a simple UI to show the prices on the screen in a variety of different ways. So let's have a look at the One Platform. Okay, so the feed handlers in this demo, as I mentioned, are hooked up to ICE and Bloomberg. These are Docker images that are currently deployed into the Google Cloud. This makes them agnostic to the cloud platform, so you can run them in any cloud that you wish, AWS, Google, Azure, etc. You can easily run up multiple feed handlers, and the data can be of any type, allowing you to create your own marketplace for data sources. In this demo, we just have the two running. Let's have a quick look at MEX, the One Platform admin tool. So MEX allows you to set up your permissions for different users within the One Cloud. So here we've set up one simple demo user, and we've assigned them the Bloomberg and ICE data feeds. In MEX, you can permission the feeds by client, by source, or by feed. There's also a reporting module that lets you report on the setup that you have in place. Okay, so now we've got the feed handlers running in Docker and we permission the data. Let's have a look at this in Diffusion. Oh, so it's logged out. 1 second, I shall log back in. Okay, so here we are in the Diffusion console. So Diffusion is how we distribute the data from the one platform out to clients. As Dave mentioned before, it optimizes the way that data is sent out over the network by reducing the volume of data sent over the wire. It works by having a topic tree into which the data is pushed. You build up a data model of the data and then you can subscribe to that in real time. Clients can subscribe to any parts of the topic tree that they're interested in, and data can be conflated or restructured on the fly in real time. And this from a UI perspective is really powerful. So here you can see we've got FX prices and Bloomberg, and then we've got the currency pairs that we've permissioned ourselves to in MEX. So you've got sterling, euro, and cable. And if you click on those, you can see the prices here. If I just refresh this, you can see that the timestamps are changing. But you can subscribe to any part of this topic tree. So if you just want the Bloomberg prices, for example, you can subscribe to that. And then you see the data flowing in real time. So you can see this timestamp changing and the prices changing when they update in the source platforms. So as well as the security that we saw set up in MEX earlier, by using Diffusion, we get fine-grained control over the data. We're able to permission people to adjust the exact set of data that we wish them to have access to. Diffusion's fully scalable, so you can build out a cluster of Diffusion servers, so you can increase capacity as your client base grows. So in summary, by using Diffusion, we drastically simplify access to the market data to end clients and gives you a scalable way of distributing market data from the cloud. And regarding the data latency question or answer that you guys gave earlier, Diffusion massively reduces the amount of data, so that decreases the latency that you experience when using Diffusion. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the Demonstrator Ui. So we built this proof of concept just to prove the simplicity of consuming real-time data from one platform in the cloud and give you something to look at. It's obviously not representative of a real trading application, as it was only built in a few days to prove the concept. So the UI pulls data from that Diffusion API that I just showed you. So I'm able to subscribe to ICE data, for example, and put that on the screen. In this platform, you can flip the tiles around and then change it to the different currency pairs that we've got permissioned in MEX. So here's the ICE data sources, and then Bloomberg, for example, you can have different setups like that. And then it means that you can build comparison UIs, so you can have like Bloomberg and ICE both shown in the same tile. We can show it on the bid and the ask like this, and we can do simple charting. So we're charting like the Bloomberg top of book prices. So obviously this is all built on top of book indicative prices, but there's obviously much more you can do, such as book depth. You can do liquidity aggregation across multiple sources, market by price views, market by order views, depending on what your business requirements are. There's a whole host of more complex visualizations. Obviously, we built something fairly simple for this demo. And so with that, I'll hand back to Andrea.
Thank you, Dave. That was a lovely demonstration of the ease of how to optimize control and accelerate market data in the cloud. It is great to see how this solution addresses the market imperatives that our audience has pointed out and that we know are in the broad market as well. We can now move market data, the market data environment into the cloud quickly and easily. I can foster competition and enable fluidity between data services. I know that my data is secure and delivered with full permissioning and control, and dynamic scaling is based on market volatility. It's not a problem, and I can manage my costs. And I can also isolate and monetize my original derived content. Sounds like an all-up end-to-end solution to me. As you have seen, BCC, Push, and Baker have collaborated to bring you a comprehensive solution that enables real-time streaming market data to easily transition to and operate reliably and securely in the cloud. BCC with their one platform takes the overly complex world of data sources and simplifies it in the cloud. They provide the permissioning and reporting required to satisfy regulatory and audit concerns while preserving the speed and reliability you demand. Push Technologies' Diffusion Intelligent Data Mesh is the high-performance channel optimized for cloud-based data delivery between the one platform and the world of recipients. Data can be transformed and delivered in real time, delayed and/or conflated, thereby providing a range of service models for data providers and consumers. Baker Technology are specialists in building real-time user interfaces for every part of the trade lifecycle, and they have demonstrated how simple it is to connect and leverage the data with out-of-the-box technology from BCC Group and Push Technology. I see that we have a handful of questions already, so let's move to our Q&A session. Our Q&A session is open to our audience now. To ask a question, please type it into the chat window. Again, if we run short to address your questions, we will follow up with you directly. We also welcome your inquiries anytime. You can simply send us an email at cloudteam@pushtechnology.com. We are also, I want to note to all attendees, we are making a special offer. You may schedule a complimentary technical consultation to discuss your specific market data environment and where you are in your journey to the cloud. To schedule your complimentary consultation, please send your request to cloudteam@pushtechnology.com. So let's go to our questions. The first one from Richard. Is there a commercial agreement among the three companies working together on this webinar? And can you tell me how it works? Brian, do you want to take that one?
Yes, Andrea. Hi, Richard. Yes, there is an agreement among us. So please contact any of your existing contacts within any of the firms, and we'll follow up collectively with you. Back to you, Andrea.
Great. Thanks, Brian. And second question from Richard, what kind of internal assets could I more easily monetize if I had a cloud-based market data platform?
Sure, Andrea, I'll take this one. This is Bill. I think from our perspective, the cost savings are significant. We expect that from an infrastructure standpoint, you could save 40% or more when you eliminate much of the on-premises technology that is currently required. But on the other side of this, I also want to mention the data costs. Data costs are also significantly expensive. And by moving to the cloud, you have the opportunity to reduce those costs as well.
Thanks, Bill. Brian, do you want to speak to what kind of internal assets I might more easily monetize?
Yes, Andrea. Like we're seeing a mixture of data or content, as some people will refer to it, with analytics to produce new derived data sets. We're also seeing opportunities to, easily onboard new content from other sources. So those other sources could be traditional on-prem sources from data providers, right through to new sources that could exist in any of the multiple cloud environments.
We have another one that says, reading the demo, this is from John, can clients choose to arbitrate between sources for the same instrument?
I can take that one, Andrea. I think certainly you have the ability with the one platform and Push to get access to multiple different sources of data and be able to analyze and review those data and make decisions based on that data. So I think that's something you would need to decide, and also make sure that from a licensing standpoint, that's something you're allowed to do.
Thanks. And there's another one here that I got sent directly. What new customer segments could I reach with this sort of solution? Brian, do you want to speak to that?
Yes, Andrea. Yeah, you're looking at new customer segments that would include customers you previously would have not have served due to the onboarding cost using existing lease line or VPN approaches. But there's also the opportunity to provide new ad hoc as a service offerings to your existing customers. So it's a mix there, but it's all about reaching new customers and new opportunities. Back to you, Andrea.
Thanks. Bill, do you have any comments on that particular question?
Yeah, I would say that you know, I would encourage all the folks that are working on market data and putting it into the cloud that they think out of the box about what's possible in the analytics space, in the monetization space, in the algorithmic modeling space, because when you have access to more data from more sources more easily, it changes the game quite a bit with how you go about addressing the market. So there may be organizations within your company, there may be clients that you have access to that will have a lot more use for your data, or a lot more value from your data because of this flexibility and this fluidity.
Great. So the last question I have time for here is, do you have an anticipated range or number for the level of operational cost savings that can be expected with the platform in reference to your data costs?
I think Andrea, we discussed this a little earlier, but
Yeah.
we felt as though there was a 40% or better cost savings that is possible with the one platform.
Okay. All right, our time is up today, and as mentioned, if more questions come to mind, give us a call and we will be happy to discuss them. And for all our attendees, our special offer of a complimentary 1-hour technical consultation is open to you, and it is open to all of these attendees for the next month. So drop us a note. We'd love to talk to you. And I want to thank all of the participants and attendees for joining our webinar presentation, How to Optimize, Control, and Accelerate Market Data for the Cloud. May you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, Andrea.